Now we are moving on to the third criterion for the classification of vowels, that is the height up to which the tongue is raised during the production or articulation of a vowel. So according to the height up to which the tongue is raised during the articulation of a vowel, vowels can be classified into open vowels, half open vowels, half closed vowels and closed vowels. Once again, open vowels, half open vowels, half closed vowels and closed vowels. The names of the vowels itself give hints regarding the nature of its articulation. That is, the open vowels are vowels during the articulation of which the tongue is kept as low in the mouth as possible. The oral cavity remains as open as possible. I hope it is clear. The vowels during the articulation of which the tongue takes a position as low as possible so that the oral cavity remains as open as possible are called open vowels. An example of an open vowel is the long ah sound that you find in words like fast, father, etc. From the very experience of pronouncing these words, you can say that during the articulation of the long ah sound, the mouth or the oral cavity remains open. We pronounce the sound with our mouth open. So such sounds are called open vowels. Now coming to the second type of vowels, that is the closed vowels. So they are exactly the opposite of open vowels. Closed vowels, as the name indicates, are vowels during the articulation of which the tongue is raised as close to the roof of the mouth as possible. That is, the tongue is raised up to the vowel limit. So such sounds are called closed vowels. Examples of closed vowels include the sound long oo as you find in fool. You can try pronouncing that word fool, and you can see that during the pronunciation of the long oo, the tongue is raised towards the roof of the mouth in such a way that the mouth is almost closed. It is not fully closed, but it is almost closed. Such vowels are called closed vowels. Now let's move on to the intermediary positions between these two extremes. The open vowels and the closed vowels are the two extremes. During the pronunciation of open vowels, the mouth remains open, and during the pronunciation of closed vowels, the mouth is almost closed. But the half open and half closed vowels involve the positions of the tongue in between the open and the closed position. So let's take the first one, that is the half open vowel. Half open vowel is the type of vowel during the production of which the tongue is a bit more raised than the open position. In the open position, the tongue is kept as low as possible, but the half open vowel is that vowel during the articulation of which the tongue is a bit more raised, the oral cavity is a bit more closed. An example for a half open vowel in English is the sound ah as you find in cut, hut, etc. Now let's move on to the next type of vowel, that is the half closed vowel. Half closed vowels are those vowels during the articulation of which the tongue is raised towards the roof of the mouth, but it is not raised as high as in the case of closed vowels. In the case of closed vowels, the tongue is raised up till the vowel limit, but in the case of half closed vowels, the tongue is not raised as much as in the case of the closed vowels. However, the position of the tongue is very much close to the position of the vowel limit. So such vowels are called half closed vowels. An example for half closed vowels is the short e as you find in words like regret, hit, city, etc. In the notes I am sharing today, you can find the definitions of all these four categories of vowels, that is the open vowel, closed vowel, half open vowel and the half closed vowel. And you can also see a diagram in which the space between the vowel limit and the lowest position of the tongue are divided into three different parts. It is shown like a box, and in that box you can see different positions of the tongue corresponding to the articulation of open vowels, half open vowels, half closed vowels and closed vowels. So please take a look at the diagram and read the notes. In case you have any doubt regarding the definitions given in the notes, please message me and I'll explain those in detail. With that, we are concluding today's class. We'll meet again in the next class with the next topic. Thank you.